So, what's RWD and MCA anyway? RWD is responsive web design, which allows your website to be optimally viewed on a variety of screen sizes. MCA is our downloadable mobile communication app branded just for your district. When they're used together, they provide your K-12 district with a powerful combination that increases parent involvement and community engagement. In today's event, you will learn the slick tips and tricks to set your district apart and give your communication strategy that wow factor. Our guest presenter today is Jeff Windsor, who is a product specialist and sales support guru here at SchoolWires. As a product specialist, Jeff is responsible for supporting the SchoolWires sales team on our product line. Before coming to SchoolWires, Jeff was a client and served for 10 years as Internet Specialist for the Denton Independent School District in Denton, Texas. Jeff was responsible for all aspects of the district's website and related training. So without further delay, Jeff, the screen and mic are all yours.
Well, thank you, Deborah. I'm going to switch over so you can see my screen. And welcome, everyone. Today we're going to be talking about and showing examples of both the responsive web design and the mobile communications app. And I'm going to begin here at the corporate website, our SchoolWires website, schoolwires.com. Has some really good information about that for following up on what's going on. I would draw your attention to the articles and videos area, which does have some really good information on things like articles on mobile apps and responsive design, a very nice mobile apps scorecard that can help you check off those items as you put together your overall mobile strategy for your district, and how both responsive web design and the mobile app can all work together to fill in and fit into your mobile communication strategy. But we're going to begin here at this particular document, which really underpins the whole reason why we're having responsive web design and the mobile communications app. And it all boils down to the fact that today, more and more people are coming to your website via a mobile, some kind of mobile design, mobile app, mobile option device, that type of thing. In fact, if we look at one of those articles that we have out there, there's a quote in that article from the Pew Internet, a popular polling and tracking information site, that says over 91% of American adults own the smartphone. And that was a year ago, more than a year ago, so that number is significantly higher today. But even more important, that 63% of adult smartphone owners use their phones to access the Internet. So that's kind of the underlying reason why you at a district would want to have a comprehensive mobile strategy for making sure that your information is readily available on mobile devices. One of the other items that we were helping you to understand and to realize as you're putting together your mobile strategy is that there's really dual purposes for both the responsive web design and the mobile app. First off, more and more people are, their first expression or their first experience of your district is through your website. Districts are, people are looking to move into your district or to your community, or they're looking for a better opportunity for their child in selecting a different school. One of the first things that they do is they do the research, they go to your district's or your school's website, and that first impression that they have is oftentimes makes or breaks their decision. So it really can affect the recruiting of parents, recruiting of families into your town and into your district, the recruiting of teachers, because that impression or that experience that they have of your website can make that first impression. Now, most people aren't going to download an app to a district that they're just researching. They're probably going to go to the website. It's the most accessible. It's that ubiquitous. Anybody, any school these days has a website of some sort. And so they go there first. That's that first impression. And so you want to make sure that regardless of how they're experiencing your district, that they get that optimized view. And that's where that responsive web design comes in. And we're going to look at some examples about that and talk about the impact that having a website design and experience that is optimized regardless of what device is being used can really take that experience to a whole new level. Then, once the families are in the district, they have students that are participating, or they're active members in the community and in the school, and they may be involved with the district as an employee or something, then having that mobile device experience where they can download that native experience and have much more of a personalized experience with the district and the information that they're being presented, takes that, again, to that whole new level. And again, it's not something that the average interested party looking to maybe move to your district would necessarily download, but once you're a member and a contributing and integral part of that educational process, then having that personalized information right at your fingertips is a completely different experience than your overall website. So that's kind of the premise of what we're going to look at, but between the responsive web design and the mobile communications app. So what I'd like to do is to start off with the responsive design. I'm going to go out to our website, our Creative Services Department, that talks about all of the ways that we present the content via our templated content management system. The flagship product of SchoolWires is Centricity 2, and it is that content management that allows you to present that great-looking website right off the bat. And so here at that creative site is where we talk about the various options for the look and feel of your website. And we offer options for all budgets and all needs. And so if you're not real sure about what you want for your particular website design, we have a collection of templates that you can select from to get started. Kind of like choosing off the rack. I can select a pre-designed template that has a certain particular layout that is close to what I'm needing. And then I, of course, can go in and change out all of the colors. Certainly all of the content is your own, and then it provides you with that optimized look and feel on up to 5 different devices. And I'll illustrate that more here in a second. But let's say, for example, that you like this natural perspective. As you come to visit this site, creative.schoolwires.com, and you select those template options, you can go in on any of these and click on them, and it'll actually take you out to a demonstration site so you can kind of get a sense of what that design might look like. So on these pre-designed templates, we have done the work to design the look and feel of the site, but then you have control to customize that to your needs. So for example, all of the colors that you see, the photographs, that type of thing are all customizable by you. So for example, here in this little background area, you can kind of see a leafy background image. I could swap that out with something more local that identifies the district a little more. Certainly this photo gallery, I can put in my own content. I can set the duration of each one of those photos, how long they last, the transition between those. That's all part of this pre-designed template. Then as we look at more of the content areas, we certainly have the ability to set our own set of, we call them channels, but basically it's the ability for you to organize your content in a way that makes sense to you at your district. So if I need to focus in on a collection of academic areas, I can click in on that. And again, this is a template demonstration site, so it doesn't have a lot of content in it. But all of the other content that we show here on the home page here certainly could be added in with yours. I can move content around by simply dragging and dropping these content blocks. So for example, if I wanted these quick links up here at the top of this left navigation, I certainly could just click and drag and move that around. So The template itself gives you a lot of flexibility when it comes to how your content is presented, but it also, being a pre-designed, allows you to very quickly get that to any size. Now, as I mentioned originally, these are responsive. We have a collection of responsive pre-designed templates, which basically means that if I were to look at this on a different size screen, so for example, if I resize my screen down a little bit, you'll notice now that things are responding a little bit. Now, instead of having that channel bar across the top, we have an off-canvas touch-friendly menu, so I can still navigate throughout the entire site just like I did before, but it uses a touch-friendly manner so that it's optimized regardless of the device that I use to view that site. And we'll talk a little bit more about that when we get into the custom designs. So again, just to reiterate, we do have solutions for all budgets. We have those pre-designs, but then we also offer a complete custom solution as well. So if you have needs that are beyond the capabilities of something that's pre-designed, we certainly can provide a custom portfolio here for you to use as inspiration. But then when we actually design your custom template, we will start from scratch. We don't just, change the name on Fort Bend's template and give it to you and not do any of that custom work. When we do a custom template for you, we start from scratch. We take your input, we put together a look and feel that we think you'll like, and then you get to sign off on not only the main size of that, but each of those other 5 views based on the size of the template. Now, if you were to go and peruse through our creative.schoolwires.com site, you'll notice that there are several examples here within our custom template portfolio. And as you peruse these, if you were to click on one of these, let's say the Duval School, for example, you'll bring up a little card about that particular template, a little bit of information, the key features about that particular custom template, the designer and developer's name, and kind of an overview of what that might look like. But if you click on it again, it'll actually take you out to that particular school district site, and you can see it live. So it'll got to give you a sense of how they've put their site together, how the various schools are accessed. In this instance, they have kind of a custom little way to get to the various schools. So it'll give you an idea of how that particular template was put together. Now, just to enlighten that just a little bit more, I'm going to go out to one of our showcase schools here, San Diego Unified in California, and they do have that custom responsive template. And so let's take a look a little bit deeper into what that presents us. Here at their main site, you'll see that I have it pretty much full width on my computer screen. I could, widen that out a little bit if I needed to, but it's basically the first of the views is designed for a full screen computer screen. Come with some of the things that they wanted on their site beyond what is just included in the product, including that channel bar where I can organize my site in a way that makes sense to the district and to the community. But they also have some custom tabs across the top so that if I'm a parent, I can click on that and get kind of a custom view of all of the information that's specific for me as a parent. Or if I'm a staff member, I can click into there, and as you can see, everything's color-coded in this particular custom example to focus people's attention on whatever particular organization or group that they belong to. So this customization is beyond what is typically provided in a standard template, and that's what sets this custom template apart, is that they can do cool things like this to help focus those people's attention as they come to the website. A couple other things you'll notice is they have some global navigation elements here that allow you to quickly get to those key things that most people want right at their fingertips. How do you contact the district? Well, I can click on that global icon, and it's going to show up on every page so that no matter where I am, I can get to that information right at my fingertips. Or maybe the included enterprise calendar. I can click into that and get to the calendar about the district or any of the schools or even any of the sub-pages, whether that's a teacher or a department or something like that. And then, of course, the staff directory so that we can contact anyone within that district. And the reason I point out most of these little things is because these elements will change or adapt or actually respond based on the size of the screen that we're going to be using. You'll see they have a very large graphic at the main top of the page to draw people's attention in. One of the more modern features of typical websites is that we want to have it graphically pleasing. We want to be able to grab people's attention and hold their interest as we go through here. And just like I mentioned in the pre-designed template, you get to set the duration of each one of these images, the transition between them. So instead of that nice little crossfade, you might want to have some kind of wipe or dissolve, or there's a whole myriad of transitions that you can do between those. And then, of course, the duration for each one of those. And then we can click through. So if I need to read more about this particular item, I can click through, and it'll take me into another page where I can fully explain more about this particular item. Then below there we have 3 columns of information. And again, each one of these blocks of content can easily be moved and rearranged within this 3-column layout. So the layout is pretty much set for the template, but the content can easily be moved around and rearranged. So with that in mind, let's take a look at this particular template if it was on maybe an iPad or some other tablet. Now I've just opened up my screen, my window in a different size screen, and you'll notice a couple things have changed. We still have all of those elements that we had before, the global navigation, the custom tabs, certainly the channel bar and all the sections within there, the large graphic, and the 3 columns. But now those 3 columns are optimized, so even though I'm on a smaller screen, I don't have that left to right horizontal panning in order to see everything. It's just optimized for that little bit smaller screen. Now that pretty much holds through for the next size as well. So if I'm looking at this on maybe a Nexus 7 or some of those smaller, an iPad mini or something like that, again, smaller screen real estate available, but again, it's optimized or it's responded to that smaller screen. Again, same content, same global navigations and custom tabs, the same image optimized to fit the size of the screen, but now we have 2 columns instead of the 3, and the content within those columns is just moved around. So I can still get to everything. There's no horizontal scrolling needed, and I don't have to pinch and zoom to see all of that content. And then finally, we get down to, actually not finally, there's 2 more. If I get down to like an image, a smartphone in landscape mode, or one of those giant phablets, they call them, phone tablet combinations, all of a sudden there's not enough screen real estate for all of that content that we had before. So what we've done is we've customized that look and feel to provide that optimized experience on the smaller screen. Now we haven't lost anything. I still have those global icons. They've just been moved and resized to fit the screen better. I can still get to all of the channels and all of the sections because we have that off-canvas navigation. And it's touch-friendly so that if I'm using this on a smartphone, I can still get to all of that content. But then even those custom tabs across the top have now been moved again to that custom off-canvas menu, so I can still get to all of the content that I need to. So if I'm a parent, with one click, I get into that. You'll see that color coding still carries through regardless of the section that I choose, to give those visual clues to let people know that they are still at that particular location. So all of this is included in that custom template. You'll notice that we still have access to all of the content, and again, it's just optimized for that smaller screen. And then finally, for a smartphone in portrait mode, again, everything then goes to a single column, no horizontal panning, no pinching and zooming to get to that content, and I still can see everything. And the beauty of this is as the district is preparing their content to go on the web, we have provided a way to make this very modular and very easy for you to have that content that adapts to the different sizes. Because the web is no longer simply a computer screen, it's so much more than that. And it just goes back to what we originally said as we started. More and more people are using these sizes of screen to access your content. So you want to be able to give them that optimized experience. Imagine it, someone looking to come to your website and they happen to be checking out your school district on their smartphone, and they get an optimized view right there. They're going to have a more positive experience about your district with that first impression on their smartphone than if they have the giant website scrunched down, super micro, tiny, and they have to pinch and zoom to get to all the content. Most of us who've used a smartphone have experienced that in other lesser websites that don't have that responsive design. So this hopefully gives you an idea of the capabilities of that responsive template. It's a single template that includes all 5 of these views within that template. And then you also have that ability, if you want, you can apply this to every school and every template within your district. And I like to often show Higley. Even though Higley's is not responsive, it does give you a sense of the way that a single template can be applied to all of the schools in your district and just change out the colors, the logos, and certainly all of the content so that parents coming to any school within your district know beyond a shadow of a doubt that they're still at your particular district. But each school then has that ability to showcase their pride and their ownership of not only the content, but then also all of the look and feel is maintained regardless of where you go in the site. So if you are interested in more information about the responsive templates, the best first choice is to go to creative.schoolwires.com. And here you can find all of the information about our responsive design and how that is done here under the custom templates by selecting that responsive design. And it will tell you all about how we do our responsive designs, as well as some information of why it is so important for the rest of the world that you're using responsive design. And again, this one here talks about the fact that Google loves the fact that we offer a responsive design template because it's a single place that they have to go to index all of your content rather than having multiple experiences and multiple sites just to get to all of that content. So it's a single point of editing, it's a single point of indexing for Google, and it's a single point of receiving that content even though it's optimized for the screen that's being used to view that. So that's a brief overview of the responsive web design. Again, it is available for both in a pre-designed format where you get to change out colors, or a complete custom template as well. If you're a current SchoolWires customer, we can easily swap out and add a responsive design template to yours very quickly. The design process will take anywhere from, if you choose a pre-designed, we pretty much can turn that on overnight. But to fully design a template will take, an amount of time that we'll negotiate with you. A lot of that depends on our back and forth between us and the committee that's working with our designers. But once we get that design created and you sign off on that, then adding it to your existing site is simply a matter of selecting a different template, applying it to your site, and then adjusting the content to make sure that it's in the right place. Okay? So now let's switch over to talking a little bit about the mobile communications app. And as you can have seen, someone visiting your site, you want to give them that optimized experience. But once they're a member of that site, once they are using your site on a regular basis, like for example, Noblesville outside of Chicago is a good example of that. They're a relatively new client. They have opted to have a responsive template. So again, I don't want to necessarily belabor the point, but as we change the size of their website, and again, responsive isn't necessarily meant to be a live, accordion of moving things around, but you certainly can see how it adapts and responds based on the size of the screen. Optimally, I would just set up new windows for each one of those. But just to give you a quick look, it does give you that optimized view. But they also have the downloadable mobile app. For those people that are in the district, the parents, students, people who are intimately involved in the everyday activities of the district, they want to have that native smartphone experience. And so we provide this mobile communication app for both the iTunes, the Apple platform, as well as the Android or in the Google Play Store. One of the key elements of our downloadable mobile app is that ability to have your brand and your name and identity in those particular stores. So when mom and dad or the community want to download and have that native experience on their phone, they can simply go to the iTunes, search for your school name, and they'll be able to pull that up and download it for free, because part of your annual subscription for this mobile communication app includes the ability for you to offer it to your constituents at no additional cost. Because we don't want to tax them school taxes and then also make them download this tool that we're providing to increase that communication. So we make that available at no additional cost. Within that, one of the key elements is the ability for you to have a single point of editing. And I'm actually going to come out here to my demonstration site and kind of give you a sense of how that would work. So I've downloaded that to my phone here, and so I'm going to go ahead and open that up. You see that splash screen with the logo, and then it's going to begin by presenting you with that feed-based interface. So that first impression here, I have the ability to pin a photo gallery, and I just chose to use the same photo gallery that I have on the website so that it gives that continuity of experience from the website to the downloadable mobile app. Now, certainly, I could choose any of our photo gallery apps to be pinned to the top of this content. I just chose this one for that continuity experience. And if I want to swipe with my finger here to swipe back and forth between those, I certainly can. In addition to the photo gallery at the top, we also then provide a listing of the most recent content that's been added to the site. So again, this is a feed-based, so the most recent information kind of floats to the top of each one of these cards. So as I add the most recent news event here, the recent calendar event, so if I go into the calendar, we should see that same, basically a 48-hour window here of what's going on. So if I tap in on those upcoming events, it's going to provide me, there's a parenting class tonight that I can go in and register for, or there's a fitness class on Tuesday. So the feed itself gives me that 48-hour window of what's coming up right there floating to the top. So most recent district event right there. Next up, most recent, is a news article where they talk about the Independence High School players, students being inspired by a player. And so as I click into there, here's the news article that has been added to the website. And without the PR department having to do anything else, that information is then also published here on the website. So again, you don't have to do anything extra. It's just right there at your fingertips. There's no additional editing required. And as it becomes the most recent item, it will float to the top of the list. So that's really one of those main underpinning features of the SchoolWire's mobile communications app, is because we own both sides of the equation. We have the editing experience for the content management system, and we have the source code and information for the downloadable mobile app. We can have that tight integration between the two so that you at the district, all you have to do is edit one time, and it's going to show up on both devices. Okay. Now, beyond that, and I could go on and show you for each one of those, but it does give me the ability, as new content is added to the website, it's going to automatically float to the top of that feed-based interface. Now, if I want to dive in deeper and see information that is specific to a particular area, in this upper left-hand corner, we have that off-canvas menu that you at the district get to define. You get to decide what content is listed here. And basically, these are the same pieces of content or blocks of content that we have on the website. So, for example, this announcements area here is going to be the same that we have here in the district announcements. So as I tap into that on the mobile device, you'll see that same list of content that you have on the website. Parents, the Common Core Standards, Parent Survey, Faculty Fitness, Attention Alumni, etc. And so as I tap into, for example, the Faculty Fitness sessions, it's the same content that you have on that announcement. So you'll place that announcement once on your website, and it will automatically appear here on the announcements area in that left navigation. And you're free to add as many of those content blocks here in this left navigation as you want, and you can organize them and move them around simply by dragging and dropping. And this goes beyond just content. For example, the district news, again, those same news items that we have here, verbatim, no changes, optimized specifically for the small screen. But you can also tie this into third-party content, so that you want that mobile communications app to now be the hub of all the information that a parent, a student, a teacher, even a community member would have right at their fingertips. So, for example, if I want to find information about a school, I can simply click on the schools directory. It'll pull up a listing of the schools, and you can organize this however you want. I may click in on the high school and see a list of all the high schools in a larger district. But here, giving me the capabilities built into the phone, that ability to have that map that I can see where I am in relation to the school. I can tap on the phone number, it'll call that number. These are all features of the phone that are integrated into the mobile communications app. I can tap on the address and get driving directions to get there, that type of thing. Or I can actually click in on the school's website and go directly to their particular website. And here is a good example of having both the responsive as well as the mobile communications app, is as I tap into that, it's going to take me to that optimized view of the high school page, so I can get every bit of content that's at the high school optimized for that small screen. But then beyond that, for example, school directory, I can go into third-party content. So perhaps you have a student information system that has a well-designed web portal or a mobile app. I can simply tap in on, in this example, PowerSchool, sign in and get my grades and my attendance and discipline, all of the stuff that's included in a typical student information system right here at my fingertips. So I have everything that I need as a parent, whether it's to add money to the lunch account, again, going into that point of sale or that system that you may have already for tying in and adding money to their lunch menu, that type of thing. And then certainly to pull in third-party social elements. So even though the mobile communications app becomes that central hub of all things school-related, we can tie into their Facebook account so that mom and dad can go out and take a look at what's been posted at Facebook without necessarily having a Facebook account. It'll take them right in there. They can at least view anything that's posted out there right here from that central hub. And that goes for Twitter or YouTube or any other options that you might have in there. What additionally sets us apart is that ability for you to choose what schools you want to receive content from. So as a parent, I might tap in here to these update schools, and maybe I have a child that's going to Liberty Elementary. So I can add that to my list of schools. Now when I go to the main page here, it's going to give me that option to, I can either view content from all areas, that main district site, as well as the elementary, Or maybe I just want to get just the elementary stuff. So I can tap in on there, and that's going to limit the content that's here on my feed-based interface to strictly that information coming from the elementary school. So as the elementary updates their page, I'm going to get that updated information right here on my at my fingertips. Now, I certainly can, go back and choose all of them or just the high school. I'm sorry, just the district. But I have that option where I can personalize that to a greater degree. Now, while we're talking about personalization, you may know that part of the Centricity 2 experience is a very personalized option here. So I'm going to go ahead and sign into the website to show that. And again, I'm going to sign in as myself here because I've signed in as myself on the mobile communications app. And you'll notice across the bottom here that one of the options that I have is a thing called My View. And My View is a way for you to have a personal dashboard of the information from across your family of websites that you can pin to that, kind of like using Pinterest or iGoogle or something like that, where I can place that content that's most interesting to me and place that right here on that personalized view. So on my website, you can see I can click in after I've logged in and get that personal dashboard of the information that's of interest to me. Same thing with my mobile communications app. I can click on that My View button at the bottom and get that right here at my fingertips. So it's the same information that I've added in here, and as I add content here to my My View dashboard, it's going to automatically be reflected here as well in my my mobile communications app. So the scenario is, it's 7 o'clock in the morning. You're trying to decide whether you want to pack your lunch or take your lunch. You have your phone right there. Pop in, take a look at My View, and see that they're having chef salad today at the elementary. So we'll probably take our own lunch because a PBJ trumps chef salad any day. So having that information right at my fingertips takes our mobile communications app from just being yet another way to grab content from the website to a much more personalized experience. But wait, there's more. If you have the rights on your website to edit content, so for example, if you have site manager capabilities, then we also give you that ability to make content changes using your mobile communications app. So you'll notice here at the bottom we have that ability to tap into Site Manager because I've logged in as someone who has that right to do that. So as I tap into Site Manager, I have the ability, again, because I have those rights given to me based on my login, is that I can add an announcement to my website by simply doing that here from the device. So if I select into the Announcements app, and we'll add a quick announcement here that says something like, we'll do water main break. And I'm old, so it takes me forever to type. So instead of typing, I'm going to use the capabilities of the phone, and we're going to just narrate that here. So I'll just do an announcement and let people know that there is a water main break at the high school, period. Please plan your route accordingly to pick up your child today, period. So within just a couple seconds there, I'll double check it to make sure it's not wrong. It looks pretty good. So I can click Save. And again, because we own both sides of the equation, I get that little growl that tells me it was successful. I can now, within just a couple seconds, be able to add that announcement here to my website. Plus, because anything that's added to the website is going to show up here as a card feed on that, and I'm at Liberty Elementary, so let me change this out to the Lake Park School. You'll see that being the most recent announcement added to the site will float to the top of that feed-based interface and let people know that there's an issue that they need to change how they're going to pick up their child. So it provides you not only a great way to keep in touch with everything that's going on at the district right at your fingertips, the ability to pull in third-party content, whether it's your student information system or social media, that type of thing, but then also a personalized experience where I can get that information that's most important right at my fingertips. And again, there, going into that announcements in my view, it automatically adds it into my view because it's all tied together. And then that ability to have that ability, if you have the rights, to add content to your site. So maybe I want to change out, add a new picture. First day of school picture. I can come in here to my photo galleries and tap in on that and say, okay, I want to add in a new a picture for the first day of school and be able to publish that right here from my phone. But then, as we want to stay in communication with those people, I have that ability from my website to actually go in and send out those push notifications to anyone who has that device installed on their phone. So here, within the smartphone configuration app, I can easily send out that notification. Maybe I need to let people know that that water main. So I'll say there is a water main break. I told you I couldn't type at the high school. Wow. But beyond just putting that notification at the top of the app when they have it open, I can push that out so that anyone who has the app installed, their phone will buzz or beep or however they have their phone configured. So I can send that out and from my website be able to just click once and have that push notification. And as you can see there on my phone, I've configured it to have a banner pop up. And from there I can tap on the launch button here with my finger, and it will pull up, and you'll see here across the top of the page now, no matter what page I go to, I'm going to be able to see that banner across the top letting them know that there's a water main break at the high school. And I can clear that here from my website, or because I have the rights, I can actually do that here on my phone. So I can send out that push notification, or I can clear out an existing one right here from my phone. So if I'm the principal or the superintendent or a designated person, I can send that message and that push notification right here from my phone. So if we're in a lockdown situation or I need to get the information out right away to people, I can do that from my phone and I don't have to try to find a computer and log in and all that mess. Even if the network's down, because I'm using my phone's network to get to my website, I can make those kinds of changes anytime, anywhere, as long as I have my smartphone with me. So that's just a few of the ways that the mobile communication app provides a really completely different focus and set of features than the responsive web design. Even though the responsive web design is an amazing way to share information about what's going on in your district to people on multiple devices. So that really was the purpose of the presentation today, to kind of give you a sense of how it's really two different things that come together to really complete your mobile communication strategy. And with that, I think we'll open it up to questions. I have a little question screen here, or I guess I can pass it back over to Deborah.
Actually,
so Deborah,
why don't you hang on to it in case people want you to show them something else. That'd be great.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll just do the, you have any questions and answers, and if you have something I need to show you, I'll flip back over and show you that live.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Jeff. That was a great presentation. As Jeff mentioned, now is question and answer time. So please write your questions over there in the question control panel, and we'll get to all of them right now. So our first one is, and we get this all the time, Jeff, can you please help me with being able to explain why we would need a responsive website and a mobile app? So my assumption is this person's going back to their district and they need to clearly explain why the district needs both.
Sure, and that's a big reason why I started here at the corporate website, because we include that document. In fact, it's in one of these here. There's a couple of them, and this one was written by Bernie Reinerson, who was the Chief of Staff at San Diego. Great information. In fact, this whole document here, let me pull that up, is something that you could print out, take to your appropriate people, and let them know, here's some really good reasons. But I think I kind of underpinned it during the presentation today. Number one, responsive is for those people that you want to recruit and retain. So it's not necessarily, it's specific for that particular group of people. So you have your people within your community that are coming to your website on all different designs. You want to give them that optimized view, because that's going to keep people coming back to your site. You want your website to be that hub of information. Well, people tend to not come to sites that are broken, that are hard to use, that are not kept up to date. So having that responsive template gives you that ability for them to have that great experience. And of course, the ease of use of our product makes it easy for you to keep it updated. So that addresses that side of the equation. Those people that you want to recruit into your district, who want to retain, you want to keep those people that are using your website happy regardless of the device that they're using. Then on the other side, we talk about the mobile communications app and that ability to give a much more personalized experience, that ability to push out those notifications. Once you have that and you're a member of the district, you can publish record your lectures and be able to push that out as a podcast, or you're out as a teacher taking pictures on a field trip and be able to publish that right from your handheld device. And again, that ability to access all of the content and update your key pieces of information right from your phone, and you're not tethered and tied to a computer screen or Wi-Fi network. So short answer, we have some really great information on the corporate website in these articles and video areas. There's several of these that will help you with that. And then, of course, the information that we presented here today. And you can always call us, and we'd be happy to do a presentation to help sell that idea that these are really two unique, but combined together help you totally reach that mobile communications strategy that you have.
Perfect. That's great, Jeff. And I might also add, too, while we interview our different clients to ask them how they're best using their solutions, many of them are going to iPads, like giving iPads to all the students in classrooms. And so if those kids have to access the website or their teacher pages, it's best for them to be able to access their teacher websites via an iPad with a responsive design, right?
Absolutely.
Great. I know Noblesville is one of them that really pushes that, and so they're very excited about this.
Yep.
So, Adrienne, hopefully that answered your question. If you need more clarification, just shoot me a little note here in the chat section, okay? Another question that came up here, how often does SchoolWires provide updates to the mobile app?
That's a great question and a real exciting answer for us, because mobile is one of our key initiatives here at SchoolWires. In fact, we're using it across our entire organization, and in every product that we produce, mobile is at the forefront. In fact, we have a dedicated mobile team, a dedicated mobile product manager, and we have committed to at least 4 updates throughout the year. In fact, there probably will be more. Because of the nature of mobile, it allows for very agile development and very quick response to the market and to what our clients are telling us. So we commit to at least 4 of those updates throughout the year. And it's done just like every other app on the planet. As we push out that new notification, you'll get the little red dot here that says you need to update, and you'll go into your app store and be able to just update that information right there.
That ties in with the next question. Since this is an iPhone that you're showcasing, do we also have a mobile app for Android phones?
We do, and as I've showcased here at the beginning here, if you go to Google Play, you can search for SchoolWires, or you can search for any of the schools that have that, and you'll see that all of these, everything that we do is available for both the iTunes, the Apple platform, as well as the Google Android platform.
Great. And here's another question about updates. So once we have our website, how often do you provide updates to that?
The website is typically updated about 3 times a year. We do a main update in the summer. Usually those updates will include things that will affect a teacher, which will give you time at the district to provide that professional development so that teachers can best take advantage of those new features. Then we'll usually do a release sometime around the December, winter time frame, and then sometime in the spring, March, April, depending on things. And typically those releases will have more behind-the-scenes enhancements or features of more of an administrative nature, because we don't want to give you a really cool thing right in the middle of testing season in the spring. So I say cool thing. I really meant a cool thing for the teachers that they wouldn't be able to use, necessarily until they had some professional development on that. So we typically do 3 Centricity 2 releases a year.
Perfect. And here's a point of clarification, because I do believe you covered this, but it is a question that came through. So do I have to update content separately on my mobile phone and my responsive website, or just in one location?
You do it once, and it shows up in both. And I did demonstrate that here with the announcement that I did from my phone, and it showed up on the website. I could definitely do that same thing. So if I were to go into Site Manager here and add a new announcement via the website, I could add an announcement that will just do something called simple test. I'm going to save that. And so now when I go into my website, we'll see that new district announcement. I have to refresh my page, sorry. So there's that test, and then obviously it'll show up here on my device as the most recent item because it floats to the top. There's that test, as well as in the announcements area, which pulls that same information from the website. So you do it one place, and it shows up on both.
Perfect. And here's our last question. So if anybody has any more questions, this is last call. So the last question we have here is there a charge for the updates to either the website or the mobile app?
No, that's the beauty of a subscription, it is part of your annual subscription, is you'll receive all of the updates that we provide during the year. So 3 updates for the Centricity 2 website content management system, and the 4 or more updates to your mobile communications app. That's all included. You get each one without any additional cost.
Perfect. And it looks like we got through all the questions. So thank you very much, everybody, for sending Jeff your questions. And again, Jeff, thank you so much for your time to do our solutions showcase and answer all the questions. We really appreciate you.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
So our time together has come to a close. So thanks, everyone, for joining us today. We know this is a busy time of year with back to school, so we appreciate your time, and we want you to keep an eye out for our email. It will have the webinar recording. And in the meantime, if you want to learn more about SchoolWire Solutions, please visit our website at www.schoolwires.com. And if you have any further questions that you come up with or that some of your colleagues come up with, feel free to email us at sales@schoolwires.com, and we'll get back to you right away. So thanks again, and everyone enjoy the rest of your day.